Now, oftentimes I receive messages from curious boxing fans. They say, "Oh, Ego, what's the deal with this? Oh, Ego, what's the deal with that? I heard this. I heard that. Ego this, Ego that. Is it true or is it false?" Let me remind you all, if it didn't come from Boxing Ego, it might not be true. Errol Spence Jr. Hey, man, Dad, stop that cat. Yeah, definitely. He hasn't really been saying much. So there's rumors out that Errol Spence has backed out of the fight with Sebastian Fundora, right? A lot of people reached out. They say, "Hey, Ego, what's the deal?" You notice your boy Ego didn't make no video about Errol Spence backing out of the Fundora fight because I hadn't heard that. Nothing that I went over, no information that I seen led me to believe that they still weren't fighting, right? So I tell you guys all the time, I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. There's multiple reasons that I could get on here and make up like fake content and make fake videos and clickbait and stuff like that. But I don't want that to be what I'm known for. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just wait and give you guys reliable and accurate information. So leads me to what we're talking about today. A fan reached out, which you guys see on the screen. He reached out to Sebastian Fundora directly and basically heard the same thing, heard these rumors, and wanted to go directly to the source, which is basically, that's the type of time I'm on. My mom always told me go straight to the source. So this is a screenshot from that conversation, and I'm going to read it. There was a Sebastian Fundora story, and the person says, "Is it true about Errol Spence Jr. withdrawing from the fight?" In blue, you guys can see that. And Sebastian Fundora on his verified account says, "Nah, they just changing the date." And then the fan says, "Appreciate the info, bro." Again, I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. I'm not here for a bunch of false alarms. Trust me, I could easily do that. I can go with every rumor that I hear, because you got to understand what a rumor is. Rumors can come from all sorts of places. That's why you have to do your best to try to fact check. And I just owe it to the fans to be on my job. And it's also who I am internally, that I'm not really playing the semantics game. And, you know, I don't need to do anything desperate to drum up attention for the channel or views. I've been here. Everybody knows what I do, what I bring to the table. So it's good to see that Errol Spence Jr. and Sebastian Fundora looks like it's still on track. If anything changes, of course, I will give you guys an update. But I mean, it says right here, "Is it true about Errol Spence withdrawing from the fight? Nah, they just changing the date." So you're hearing it from the horse's mouth on his verified account. So for me, I would go over and trust the actual fighter rather than a rumor, unless the rumor comes from the fighter. You know, I mean, he's the champion, Sebastian Fundora. So I feel like he should know what's going on more so than some anonymous rumor. Now, Errol Spence is coming off a loss to Terrence Crawford. So I don't know what the delay is, because he did say they're changing the date, but it's no biggie. I'm sure we'll hear the information when it comes. See, and that's the thing with me, is there's no real reason for me to rush. None at all. Like, what is the rush? Errol Spence, he's a quality fighter. He has one loss. He also had the bad car accident. He had issues with his eye. I'm also hearing, now what I did hear personally was, at first they were saying AT&T Stadium in Arlington, which is close to where Errol Spence resides in Dallas or whatnot. But now I'm hearing it could be even in Vegas. And see, that's boxing for you. When it comes to boxing, the fighters gotta work these things out. Sometimes there's little kinks and like there's little things that have to be decided. Like Errol Spence could be like, I'm the A side. Fundora's like, hey, I got 2 belts, yada yada. You know what I mean? You gotta go over it. That's why that's one thing I dislike about this new generation, this microwave society. You got fans and boxing media even doing it, and people on social media, and they can't wait a week or 2, a month or whatever is needed, and they act like it's this like fanatical race to get information out. People don't even fact check to see if what they're saying makes sense or if it's true. And you got everybody like desperate and thirsty. I'm not doing all that. It's never even that serious for me. Again, I understand the process. I've been in boxing long enough. At the end of the day, they'll announce it when they're ready. There could be other things that we don't even know about at play. So until I hear from Errol Spence Jr. or Sebastian Fundora, which I showed you the screenshot that's floating around with Fundora and his verified page, then I'm not believing because people do this all the time. Like, remember Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara, they've been rumored to fight for probably over a year now. I don't know the exact time frame, but I know it's been a while. And I heard different things. It's going to be on this card. It's going to be on this card. And then Showtime pulled out of boxing and said they're going to focus their energies on something else. So things change. There's a lot of moving parts, right? You got Turkey Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season coming in and taking certain fights from, not taking, but working with certain promoters to put, like, let's say Isa Pitbull Cruz and El Rayo. I believe one of them was supposed to be on Gervonta Davis's undercard or recent undercard. I want to say it was El Rayo versus Edwin De Los Santos, a rematch. But then something else came up. Pitbull at 140 for a belt. That's an opportunity Rayo clearly liked. Now he's fighting on the Crawford Madrimov card. You dig? So this is how it works. This is how boxing works. You could think in this direction, but then things change. Like Deontay Wilder. It was said that if he got past Zelle Zhang, that he was going to fight Jared Anderson. But then he ends up getting knocked out by Zelle Zhang. So you got to look at alternate plans, and that's what they did. Now Jared Anderson is fighting Martin Bakole, right? This is just how the game of boxing works. I understand it. I know it. So I don't know what's taking so long with Errol Spence, but just like I said, Danny Garcia, Erislandy Lara, that's a fight that's been rumored over a year, and now it has a home and a date. They're fighting in September on the Canelo versus Berlanga card. So again, never let them see you sweat. That's how I know I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I never get too high. I never get too low. I'm always somewhere right here in the middle. And again, it's too much fake news. It's too much clickbait. It's too much filth, flaring and filth, and people don't know what they're talking about. You guys as fans, y'all got to be very cautious about where you get your information. And I've said that for years at this point, and it's true. You got people, and here's the other thing is you can't trust a lot of people in boxing because a lot of these people have agendas. So it's just like Gervonta Davis. You got Gervonta Davis haters. Why would you expect to get credible, reliable information from a known Gervonta Davis hater? Like, if a person seems to celebrate Devin Haney and hate Gervonta Davis, why do you think you could go there and get a level of impartiality and a non-biased conversation if they seem like Tank is in their crosshairs and he's always a target for them, right? That's why you start seeing same thing. Rumors, people were saying, oh, Tank's fighting El Rayo. Tank's fighting, and then people are like, why is he fighting Rayo? Then they said he's fighting Pitbull Cruz in a rematch. And people are like, no one wants to see that. Come to find out, Rayo's fighting Pitbull, and Pitbull fought Rolly. So none of what people said actually came true. Before that, they were saying Tank was going to fight Abner Mares. So again, y'all got to watch it. If it don't come from Boxing Ego, I don't know if you could trust it, man. There's a lot of rumors. Oh, Tank's fighting Abner Mares. Tank's fighting Campbell Hatton. You know, all these goofy rumors. Errol Spence pulled out and he's retired and all this other stuff. But then some new information comes out that contradicts it. Stay tuned to the channel. I'll let you know what's going on. All things boxing. As of right now, Errol Spence, Sebastian Fundora is still up.